New year, same yentas. I don't know about you guys, but I really miss the yentas over the holidays. Christmas just wasn't the same without the whoopee cushion playing the little drummer boy with her boodle flute. My name is Whoopee Ba-rum Ba-bum Bum. Come smell my boodle breeze, yum 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 yum. The Christmas lights just weren't as bright without the radiance of Sunny Hostin. The holiday classics weren't as classic because they were missing a performance from the great pretender, Alyssa the Farrah Griffin. Cookies didn't taste the same since they weren't being baked by the yenta married to the Pepperidge Farm guy. And by the way, where in the hell has Joy Behar been? Has anyone seen Big Red? I would say her face has been on the side of a milk carton, but as you guys know, you would need a carton measured in gallons to accommodate the size of the Superdome. But all kidding aside, where in the hell is Joy Behar? Even before the ladies took off for Christmas break, I don't remember seeing very much of Big Red on The View. Are the symptoms of OMB Orange Man bad? Are the stage 4 symptoms still preventing her from making an appearance on the show? Were the holidays really that depressing for Big Red? My inside sources, they are telling me that Joy only asked Santa for one thing this Christmas. Dear Santa, it's me, Joy B. I have been so depressed these past few weeks because normal people elected the Orange Satan. I have been trying to leave the country ever since, but Santa, no other country will accept me. All I want for Christmas is a migration pass to another country. Santa, please, leave it in my stocking right next to my polished turd. After a 2-week break that normal people were hoping was permanent, the ladies of The View, they made their triumphant return to ABC this morning. With this being their first day back after a very long break, you would think the ladies would be in a great mood. I mean, the whoopee cushion spent the last 2 weeks getting her toxic gas tank refilled. The anonymous blonde had 2 weeks to make a name tag so people would actually know who in the hell she is. The great pretender had time to improve her acting so there's a chance that normal people would actually believe she's a conservative. And my favorite yenta, Asuncion. My son was given 2 weeks to mourn. She was given 2 weeks to cry away the pain, so she could return in the new year as radiant as ever and spread her radiance to the world. Unfortunately, the yentas returned this morning madder than ever, and it didn't take long for the ladies to return to spreading their bitterness. If you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Let's go ahead and get to the sponsor for today's video, my good friends at Fluffernoggin. We're in the midst of the college bowl season. Actually, it's almost over, but the NFL playoffs are starting this weekend. Usually, I am not a big snacker, but I do enjoy snacks while watching games. One of my favorite snacks, beef jerky. But the problem with a lot of beef jerky, it feels like my jaw has been bench pressing Shamu after I eat it. I no longer had that problem because I have been snacking on Kraft beef jerky from Fluffernoggin. Now you're probably wondering, what the hell is a Fluffernoggin? Fluffernoggin produces Kraft beef jerky made with 100% organic brisket right here in America. You don't have to worry about consuming cows raised by Mahmoud on a farm halfway across the world. Fluffernoggin's cows, they are bred and raised right here in the USA. Fluffernoggin comes in a variety of flavors ranging from sweet, savory, spicy, and sometimes all the above. Right now, Fluffernoggin is offering 2 different specials. You can use promo code BTL50 to receive 5 bags for $50, or you can use promo code BTL100 to receive 11 bags for $100. Both offers come along with free shipping, so click the link in the description below. Elevate your snack game with Fluffernoggin today. If you watched the second annual Huge Embarrassing Failure Awards last week, you know that the woke media was honored by you guys, this audience, as the biggest failure of 2024. Earlier this morning, it was reported that the Washington Post is preparing for a massive layoff. Ratings at CNN and MSNBC are sinking faster than a freight liner carrying the Lizzo. There was so much backlash to ESPN refusing to play the national anthem during the Sugar Bowl last week. Other networks, they made it a point to show the national anthem this past weekend. The media is coming to the realization that normal people have all the power. It's causing some in the mainstream media to adjust their strategy, causing some in the media to make their content more appealing to normal people. Unfortunately, that's not the case with The View. Like I said in the beginning, new year, same yentas. Now, in their defense, there's really not a reason for the ladies to change. After a slight decrease in the ratings after the election, The View has managed a surprising comeback. Going into Christmas, the ladies were averaging 2.3 million viewers, which is the same number that they were averaging going into the election. When you think about it, it's kind of sad. It's great for the ladies on The View, I guess, because it means they have job security. But it's sad when you think about it because of what it says about the country. There are 2.3 million women in America who are lonely. There are 2.3 million women in America who have bought into the myth of toxic masculinity. There are 2.3 million lonely women who are proudly referring to themselves as boss chicks or independent women while they're crying on their couch at night watching reruns of Love is Blind. All my women independent, why are you so unhappy? Either way, I guess the ladies on The View haven't been pressured to change. They haven't been pressured to be more appealing to normal people because they're still drawing an audience. And it was abundantly clear this morning that nothing has changed with The View. We're officially in the year 2025. Here in about 2 weeks, America will celebrate as Donald Trump takes the keys to the White House from our former fearless leader, Johnny B. Biden. Earlier this morning, it was announced that Johnny Bordeaux or Justin Trudeau, who cares? It doesn't matter what his name is. The doofus that spent the last few years destroying the Democratic Republic of Canada. Earlier this morning, Captain Doofus announced that he was resigning. I guess he was inspired by John Biden and he decided to step aside and allow someone who knows what the hell they're doing to step in and solve the problems that he created for Canadians. Over the weekend, Congress voted for the House Majority Leader. The point is, there's a lot of news breaking right now. There is plenty of current events to talk about. Take a guess. Just take a wild guess as to what the yentas were talking about this morning. KC, were they sniffing the Boodle Breeze and celebrating the new fragrance that the whoopee cushion created? No. Well, yes, they were doing that too, but it wouldn't be an episode of The View without a conversation about January 6th. I didn't even know that today was January 6th until I was reminded by Asuncion this morning. For us normal people, today was just another day. We returned to our normal routine. I'm sure most of you guys returned to work today. But for deacons at Woke United Methodist, January 6th is a traumatic day. It's a day of remembrance. It's a day that will never be forgotten because they make damn sure to remind us about it every year. January 6th was 4 years ago. It's been almost 1,500 days. But for some reason, they can't get over it. They can't let it go. But it wasn't the memorial to January 6th that generated headlines on The View this morning. It was Sunny Hostin comparing January 6th to other tragedies that happened in the past. Once again, Sunny Hostin stuck her stilettos directly into her mouth. Once again, Sunny Hostin put herself in a situation where she might have to read a legal note tomorrow apologizing to the audience of lonely women for her transgressions. Watch it for yourself.
I just remember after January 6th, you had someone like Mitch McConnell placing the blame on January 6th where it belonged, squarely on Donald Trump's shoulders. And then you started seeing people backtrack that and losing their moral center. You had Condoleezza Rice, I believe, on this very show saying, we need to move on from January 6th. I say no. You don't move on, because January 6th was an atrocity. It was one of the worst moments in American history. When you think about the worst moments in American history, like World War II, things that happened, like the Holocaust, chattel slavery. We need to never forget, because past becomes prologue if you forget any race.
What the hell is she talking about? Seriously, what the hell is she talking about? For starters, it is time to move on. It's been time to move on. You know when normal people moved on from January 6th? January 7th. Obviously, what happened on January 6th, that was unacceptable. We could sit here and debate back and forth as to why it happened and who's responsible, but calling it one of the worst moments in American history, that is a stretch. You know what was worse than January 6th? The summer of 2020, the riots that the mainstream media described as peaceful protest. The summer of woke love where children were attending pride parades. And don't even get me started with Sunny Hostin comparing January 6th to World War II. I'm not usually one to be offended, but even I thought that was offensive. You're comparing the loss of millions of innocent lives to a protest, a riot at the Capitol building? I'll be honest with you. I think this might be the last season for Sunny Hostin on The View. And I hate to say it because Sun is my favorite Yenta, but I think she is reaching a point where she's more trouble than she's worth. Sun has been absolutely unhinged since the election. There have been multiple instances where producers made her read legal notes because they were afraid of being sued. Last month, there were rumors that ABC was thinking about firing Sunny Hostin. They were thinking about extinguishing the radiance of Asuncion. And now, they're having to deal with more backlash because Sun is comparing January 6th to Adolf and slavery. Thing is, Sun has no leverage. ABC can rotate the panel on The View. No one cares. No one will notice. Think about it. Big Red has been missing since the election. This isn't like Fox News firing Tucker Carlson a few years ago and ratings declining for months afterwards. If ABC fired Sunny Hostin, it would be news for 24 hours and then she would be forgotten. But anyway, give me your thoughts on this. Sunny Hostin makes a fool of herself. Again, she compares January 6th to slavery and Adolf. Is Sun becoming too much trouble? Is she becoming more trouble than she's worth? Do you think Sunny Hostin is at risk of losing her job? Let me know. Sound off in the comments below. Best way to contact me is through email, btlkc84@gmail.com. I'll see you guys tomorrow.